What's up, guys? It's Smoke with two eyes and an E. I'm back with another one. Today, we're going to be talking about overfeeding our plants. I'm bringing out this topic because I just did this. Last week. I gave my plants their first nutrients, and of course, I got burned. So, let me help you guys not make that mistake. So, what I'm currently using for my nutrients is pH Perfect from Advanced Nutrients. And on the first feed, I went full blast. And that's because I'm like, they said so, But I had to come to the realization that I should have cut it in half because some of these are telling you to use it at full force. And you should always try it at a half just to see how your plants react to it. I feel like I'm at, 5 weeks with my plants, so that was definitely a hard hit for them. So I probably will do 2 waterings before I do another feed, and even then it's probably going to be another half, so I don't go too hard in it. Now, when feeding your plants, you want to go half dose because these are some strong nutrients. Sometimes the plants don't even need nutrients. We just give it to them because they said so. When I do my feedings, I normally go based off of panic mode because I feel like my plants need something. I don't know what it is. Let me give them something, or I feel like giving them nutrients boosts the growth. It doesn't. It slows it down drastically. And then we wonder why it takes forever for our plants to actually do what we want it to do. Is because you've overfed it when it didn't need anything but some actual just straight pH water. So if you don't see any blemishes or any actual issues with the plant, I highly recommend, if you feel like you want to do nutrients, give half dose nutrients. And maybe if you're in flower, you can bump and add an additive like Big Buds or something like that. Even with that at a half, you don't want to go crazy because you're going to have a longer wait process in this mix. So it's okay to give nutrients, but I would say if you're not going to go half dose, give nutrients less. So let's say do nutrients, water, nutrients, or nutrients, water, nutrients. Do not go full blast straight through flower and veg with 100% nutrients because they sometimes don't need full blast. They don't need any real assistance. They might need some CalMag and some pH water. Me, I do CalMag, pH water, and some kelp. Kelp is actually a natural additive, so it's not really doing anything other than keeping the plant on track. That's just me personally, guys. That's what I use. Like I said, I am using Advanced Nutrients, and I went full force in my first feeding at 5 weeks, and now I'm actually paying for it because I'm having burn spots as well as burning tips, and these plants did not need that. They really didn't need that. I should have went half like I thought I should. But like I said, sometimes it's okay to make mistakes when you're growing your plants. Now, these leaves will, we defoliate. They will be gone and we're not worried about it. But as you grow, you want to learn what not to do as you're learning the process. Also, in my last grow, I had a big XXL tie and I was dousing it every feeding. It literally had nutrients, and that was bad on my part. I ended up getting foxtail from all of the nutrients and everything, including the lighting. It was just a bad mix altogether. So when you get your nutrients, yes, they give you a guide sometimes, like Fox Farm. I think pH Perfect also has one too, where they tell you how much to use in your grow. They also have, I think they have one where they cut it in half. So if you're using nutrients, I say cut it in half first, especially when you're in that veg window, only because they're still babies. They're not teens, they're not adults, they're not that far, especially early veg. Use half nutrients, like literally half or even a quarter of the nutrients, because they're still developing, still going through the phases. They have a lot going on. So make sure you start low and then gradually give it to them. It's something that'll actually help you. That's all I'm saying. It'll actually help you. If they need more, you can always welcome to give them more. You go through less if you give them less. You know what I'm saying? So you want to stretch out your nutrients. You want to help your plant. When they're out in the wild and they're growing, they're not really getting the things that we're giving them. So keep that also in mind. I'm a logical grower. I don't do anything that my plants don't already go through in the wild. I try to think logically when going with my plants because it's like they don't get nutrients, they don't get CalMag, they don't get nothing. They get rainwater, they get nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all embedded in the earth's soil. So keep that in mind when you're growing. Me, I don't use organic. I don't care about organic. I really don't. I just want to do what I do to get what I want. You know what I mean? So when you're doing your nutrients, cut it in half. When you see burning, that means it's too much, and that means go for water at least twice. 2 runs of water if you see burning. If you still see burning, you might want to cut back to 1 nutrient watering probably each cycle. The plant doesn't need it, which is why it's actually burning. And then you're going to get lockout, and then you're really just watering nutrients for no reason because it doesn't want it. So keep that in mind when you're growing. All right, guys, this is Smokey with 2 eyes. Make sure you follow me on Instagram for all the stuff you're missing while you're waiting for me to upload on YouTube. All right, guys, later.